The blank canvas. In my opinion, a nightmare. It can be a real struggle to deal with, but over the course of my career, I've been able to learn a few tricks to help me slay this beast and end up with high-performing landing pages. So in this video, I wanted to walk you through my systemized design process that's helped me really create high-performing landing pages, and I'm hoping it can help you out too. But first, I want to introduce you to the channel. Hi, my name is Chase. I work a full-time job as a software engineer at Contentful while also running my own dev agency that helps startups launch their first product. Oh, I'm also trying to build my own products as well. This channel is really dedicated to my younger self. It'll be full of the stuff I wish I knew earlier when I decided to pursue more than just a 9-to-5 job. So if you're a software engineer or tech enthusiast looking to do more in your career, I think you're in the right place. I'll be sharing actionable guides on how to code and launch your real-world products, how to refine your engineering skills and learn other important skills like marketing and sales, and how to balance it all without burning out. Be sure to subscribe to follow along the journey. Alright, let's get back to designing our landing page. And I want to be really practical with this example, so we'll use a real-world idea brief to help us build this website. So with that, let's dive right in. Looks like the idea here is a fitness mobile application focused on consistency. The target market is going to be young professionals, and looks like the goal here is to get people signed up for the mobile app. With any site, there's really just two key concepts that I keep in mind while designing the page. Number one is creating compelling visuals, and number two is making sure we service both the emotional and logical visitors that come to our site. And we'll explain that a little bit more later. Now I know, this sounds pretty self-explanatory, but from personal experience, I know how hard it can be to execute on, especially if you don't have a design background or you just don't feel very confident in the skill. So that's why I work to systemize this design process and make it feel more like an engineering process versus having to be creative all the time, and helps you not get stuck with that blank canvas staring back at you on the screen. First, and this is really just to get the juices flowing, I like to head over to Dribbble and start pulling inspiration of pages that I feel like match the tone and brand of the page I'm building. When I find shots I really like, I'll do a simple trick of right-clicking and copying the image, and then in Figma, pressing Ctrl V while highlighting a rectangle to paste the shot into my file. This will give me a nice mood board for me to reference while I design my site. Now that we have some UI inspiration to pull from, it's time to start building the actual UX or user experience for the page. And when it comes to this, it's pretty simple for landing pages. I follow the same process or the same layout for every single page that I build. So that layout looks like this, where we have an emotional driven header, a logical arguments body section, and finally a CTA that invokes either a sense of urgency or scarcity. So why this framework? Well, all good landing pages need to service both that emotional buyer and the logical buyer. The emotional buyer, kind of as their name suggests, they take action or buy things based off of emotion. So it's important that our landing page within the first few seconds of them visiting invokes the correct emotions to get them to take action. And the second half is the logical buyers, and they think in a little bit of a different way. They need to do a bit more research and feel a sense of trust from whoever they're visiting to take action. So it's important that our website addresses any logical arguments they might say to themselves, we build trust with them, and then we also give them a little bit of a nudge towards the bottom to take action, which is usually done with a sense of urgency or scarcity added into that bottom call to action. So with that general framework in mind, I can start building out the key content sections I want using the concept of a high-fidelity wireframe. The hero section here is where we make our emotional sell and we try to capture those types of buyers. As we mentioned, a logical buyer requires a bit more work to be convinced to take action. So as we scroll, the following sections need to address any logical arguments they may have, as well as showcasing content sections that help build trust with that type of buyer. Finally, our CTA at the bottom of the page drives those logical buyers to take action by invoking that sense of urgency or scarcity. A few other quick tips while using Figma. Number one, use a grid. 2, use auto layout, and 3, use design tokens.
Grids are a fantastic way to create alignment of elements and give your website a very polished look. It also gives you a starting point to understand how to structure your elements on the page. I think auto layout is honestly one of the coolest features to come to Figma recently. You can create consistent spacing with your layouts that reflect real code, and it can really level up your designs. Lastly, design tokens are a great way to add consistency to your colors and speed up your workflow, since you only have to change the color in one area and it'll reflect every single instance that you use that color. And if you're struggling to figure out great colors, go check out coolers.co. They have a great selection of color schemes you can use that look great in the digital world.
Okay, let's get back to designing our landing page.
We've got our wireframe completed, so this is where we think back to creating compelling visuals that really resonate with our target audience. If you start to feel stuck on the visuals, you can always reference back to your mood board. Also, just search Dribbble again for some more design inspiration. You can also browse illustration libraries like Icon Scout to find great illustrations to add to your site. Remember, keep it simple. Simple is better. And lastly, white space is your friend. You want to let that content breathe as the user scrolls through the site.
Okay, that wraps up our landing page design. Now, we didn't talk too much about the content or the copy that goes into the actual web page, and this can be just as important as the design itself. My favorite format for this is the framework called the hook story author, which was popularized by Russell Brunson, and it's something I can explain a bit more in a future video. Let me know if that's something you'd like to see in the comments below. And until next time, thanks for watching.
Subscribe for more and click the little bell to be notified about my next video.